The Times MMA rankings for May, as compiled by Todd Martin. Heavyweight advertisement 1. Stipe Miocic 2. Francis Ngannou 3. Alistair Overeem 4. Alexander Volkov 5. Fabricio Werdum 6. Cain Velasquez 7. Junior Dos Santos 8. Vitaly Minakov 9. Matt Mitrione 10. Derek Lewis. The semi-finals of the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix are now set and it couldn't have gone much better for the promotion. On one side of the bracket, it's a battle of big names with contrasting personalities as Fedor Emelianenko fights Chael Sonnen. On the other side, Ryan Bader gives up size against Matt Mitrione in a matchup of fighters closer to their primes. Light Heavyweight 1. Daniel Cormier 2. Alexander Gustafsson. Advertisement 3. Ryan Bader 4. Phil Davis 5. Glover Teixeira 6. Volkan Ozdemir 7. Ilir Latifi 8. Misha Cirkunov 9. Nikita Krylov 10. Jimmy Manuwa. It was a fairly eventful month for the light heavyweight division. Ryan Bader knocked King Mulawal out of the rankings with a 15-second knockout victory. The fight took place at heavyweight, but both men are more natural light heavyweights and are likely to continue to compete there in the coming years. Phil Davis picked up a head kick knockout win over Linton Vassell to improve to 6-1 in Bellator. Finally, Dominic Reyes improved to 3-0 in the UFC with a quick TKO over Jared Cannonier and could soon find himself fighting top 10 opposition. Middleweight 1. Robert Whittaker 2. Yoel Romero 3. Gegard Mousasi 4. Luke Rockhold 5. Chris Weidman 6. Kelvin Gastelum 7. Ronaldo Jacare Souza 8. Michael Bisping 9. David Branch 10. Derek Brunson. Gegard Mousasi won the Bellator middleweight title with a first-round referee stoppage over Rafael Carvalho. Mousasi has now targeted Rory MacDonald as a future opponent. With 7 straight wins and a 9-1 record in his last 10 fights, Mousasi is one of the hottest fighters in the division. Kelvin Gastelum picked up an important win via decision over Ronaldo Jacare Souza and could be close to a UFC middleweight title shot. Lyoto Machida also picked up a big win, brutalizing Vitor Belfort with a front kick in what was likely Belfort's last UFC bout. Welterweight 1. Tyron Woodley 2. Rafael Dos Anjos 3. Colby Covington 4. Darren Till 5. Stephen Thompson 6. Rory MacDonald 7. Kamaru Usman 8. Douglas Lima 9. Robbie Lawler 10. Santiago Ponzinibbio. The UFC welterweight division continued its makeover in the past month. Darren Till picked up the biggest win of his career, a close decision over Stephen "Wonderboy" Thompson that catapults him into the top mix at 170. Kamaru Usman also got a big win in the main event of a card from Chile, beating former title challenger Damian Maia. Perhaps the most impressive win of the month, however, was Michael "Venom" Page's electric destruction of David Ricalls in Bellator. Page has some of the most dynamic reflexes in the sport. Lightweight 1. Khabib Nurmagomedov 2. Tony Ferguson 3. Kevin Lee 4. Dustin Poirier 5. Eddie Alvarez 6. James Vick 7. Justin Gaethje 8. Edson Barboza 9. Michael Chiesa 10. Al Iaquinta. Many MMA fans have clamored for a rematch between Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier since their first fight ended in controversy in May of 2017. Now, that rematch will take place on Fox in July. Alvarez and Poirier are action fighters who should have an exciting fight and finally settle the score. It also could put the winner in line for a lightweight title shot. Featherweight 1, Max Holloway 2, Brian Ortega 3, Jose Aldo 4, Frankie Edgar 5, Patricio Pitbull Fryer 6, Ricardo Lamas 7, Cub Swanson 8, Chan Sung Young 9, Darren Elkins 10. Jeremy Stevens. One of the biggest bouts on UFC 226 in July will be the featherweight showdown between champion Max Holloway and challenger Brian Ortega. Ortega has thrived heading into this contest, but Holloway has been dominant for years. It will be a crucial test for both men. Bantamweight 1, TJ Dillashaw 2, Cody Garbrandt 3, Dominic Cruz 4, Rafael Assunção 5, Marlon Moraes 6, Jimmy Rivera 7, John Lineker 8, Bibiano Fernandez 9, Darian Caldwell 10, Cody Stamann. John Lineker's momentum continued in Rio de Janeiro as he dominated Brian Kelleher before knocking Kelleher out in the third round. Lineker is 8-1 in his last 9 UFC bouts and 12-2 in his last 14 UFC fights. It's exceedingly difficult to maintain that type of success against top-level opposition, and Lineker is worthy of a title shot at some point in the next year or two. Women's Bantamweight 1, Amanda Nunes 2, Juliana Pena 3, Ketlin Vieira 4, Sarah Kaufman 5, Raquel Pennington 6, Kat Zingano 7, Marion Renaud 8, Sarah McMahon 9, Caitlin Chookagian 10. Aspen lad Amanda Nunes took out another challenger at UFC 224 when she got a stoppage over Raquel Pennington in the 5th round. The question is now, what is next for the bantamweight champ? So many top opponents have left bantamweight to go after featherweight champion Chris Cyborg Justino, and Nunes could follow that same path. Flyweight 1, Demetrius Johnson 2, Joseph Benavidez 3, Henry Cejudo 4, Kyoji Horiguchi 5, Jessier Formiga 6, Sergio Pettis 7, Ray Borg 8, John Moraga 9, Alexander Pantoja 10. Wilson Resold rivals Alexander Pantoja and Brandon Moreno squared off for the second time in Santiago, Chile. Pantoja submitted Moreno the first time, and Pantoja beat Moreno via decision this time around. With the win, Pantoja takes Moreno's spot in the top 10. Women's Strawweight 1, Rose Namajunas 2, Joanna Jedrzejczyk 3, Jessica Andrade 4, Claudia Gadelha 5, Karolina Kowalkiewicz 6, Tisha Torres 7, Carla Esparza 8, Jessica Aguilar 9, Livia Renata Souza 10. Tatiana Suarez sneaks into the top 10 for the first time with a first-round submission over Alexa Grasso. Suarez's grappling background makes her a formidable opponent for anyone in the division. The women's strawweight division in general is building depth and has the strongest congregation of talent in women's MMA.